Hello everyone, Science Viking here, and, well, we did the first half of rescuing Alric. Let's start with the second half of rescuing Alric. Yes, he gets an entire second level devoted to his rescue mission.
Wednesday, November 19th, the Barrier. Finding Alric, the companions later told me, was the easy part, and breaking the enchantments which bound him the matter of but a few moments' consideration. It wasn't until they turned to escape, leading the barely conscious and unresponsive Alric, that the rescue became a thing of legend. The companions say that Alric became more and more lucid toward the end, and revealed things that day in the desert which only made sense in the light of later events. He continually returned to the belief that he had been betrayed. Alric babbled about a suit of armor so powerful that its wearer was invulnerable to attack and tireless in battle. He claimed that it was buried somewhere in the eastern desert, and that he had been sent by the head to retrieve it. They say Alric talked about the head often, ridiculing the Nine's belief that it was one of the Avatara of Connaught. Connaught was the great hero of the Wind Age, who drove the evil Moagim from the earth, and the head claims to have been one of Connaught's closest advisors during this time. Once Alric even spoke of the head's defeat by Balor, where it lost its body. But I've begun to wonder how one of the Avatara of the Wind Age outlived Connaught himself by hundreds of years to fight Balor in a battle long before the West had even heard of the Fallen Lords. I have been unable to reconcile this with what I know of history.
And as it turns out, that's never really fully explained. There's actually, or at least there was, a thriving fan community of people actually trying to figure out some aspects of the lore that aren't really directly explained throughout the game. Anyway, with this level, we have Alric here following us around. So, yep, this is an escort mission. And it's an escort mission in which we don't directly control the person we're escorting. Fortunately, it's not really that bad. Alric is actually pretty smart. He follows around your dwarf, I think. It's usually the dwarf. I'm not sure if he always follows the dwarf or if he'll sometimes follow the archer, but he follows a non-melee unit around and is fairly careful to avoid putting himself in any real danger.
Yes? On it.
Yeah, this is quite obviously an ambush. He's pretty careful to avoid putting himself in actual danger. And the other thing is that Alric has a lot of health and is actually quite strong in melee. So he is actually an asset for the most part. I mean, you can't control him, so really glad that was a dud. You can't control him, so he's not perfect, which I suppose fits with him not being completely lucid. Like, whatever happened to him while he was a prisoner, he's kind of messed up. And so he can follow your guys, and he'll stay close to you for the most part, but he won't stay close to you when you're attacking the enemy. But he won't really actively help. He won't really do much. Even so, I think he's pretty easy to escort. I don't believe I have ever lost this mission because Alric died. I've lost because my own units died, but I haven't had the escortee be killed by the enemy and lost that way. So the really annoying aspect of an escort mission is pretty much missing from this level. Anyway, I think I've rambled enough for this opening video. I'm going to quick get us up a fresh recording file, and then we can continue with our escort mission. Back in a second.
Alright, we are back. And you may be wondering why my audio quality has suddenly gotten a lot worse. It's because my newer, nicer microphone has decided to stop working, forcing me to rely on my older, crappier microphone while I wait for a replacement. In fact, depending on how bad the audio quality ends up being, this might never see the light of day. But also, possibly none of you who actually follow my videos may be wondering why it's been so long since my last update. That's because of a series of recording errors, mostly caused by issues related with the microphone in one way or another, and definitely definitely not because I've been playing Persona 5. That has nothing to do with it, thank you. I definitely did not just spend an entire day playing that game and doing nothing else. Okay, I did, but I mean, in my defense, it's Persona 5. What did you expect? What am I supposed to do? Play, like, eat? Sleep? No, there's no way I can do that.
Yes? Alright.
Alright. The way the enemies behave in this level is considerably different than it was in the last one.
Sir, right
In
away.
the last level, the enemies would mostly stand and fight, and give us the opportunity to stand and fight. Here, they really like to ambush us.
Money.
And they like to harass us, where they'll run back and forth from, where they'll like run up, try to catch our units off guard, stuff like that.
That was mine.
So,
On the way.
it's overall a very different level. It's a bit more challenging, which is appropriate since
Alright.
it's the next level,
Right away.
but it is kind of an interesting dichotomy between the two levels in terms of how the enemies operate. Also, I was wrong about Alric following
On
any
the way.
particular unit.
Alright.
He kind of follows the center of mass of your troops. Or something like that. His AI seems to be kind of complicated. It's like he'll switch which unit he is following depending on what that unit is doing. So when I had...
Wait for me.
Oh, we got Ghols to deal with.
Ready.
Move here, move there. Yes, sir.
Could be a... Oh, gosh. That is the... Jeez, I'm so broken I can't even swear properly.
Yes? Right away. Yes?
That...
Got him!
Yeah, I'm so broken I can't even swear correctly. Though I believe, just to fulfill the obligation, God damn it all to hell. Okay,
On
now
the
we
way.
can get back to the left.
Alright. Money. Right away.
But, for instance, when I sent my archer and my dwarf off to set up an ambush so that the units staying behind were the berserks and the journeymen, Alric stayed with them.
On the way.
But when the berserks and the journeymen went off into melee combat with enemies, Alric stayed with the ranged units. So he seems to have some way to detect which enemy type is moving, to recognize which unit type is moving towards the enemy and not follow them,
Let's go.
rather than following one particular unit type.
Ready. Alright.
Also, in this level is a magical artifact, this magical bow
way.
that our archer can use. However, there is a trap here, where if the archer, when you get too close to it, Ghols will rush out and try to attack you. And
Ready.
we don't,
On the
and
way.
you
Alright.
don't want that. So send the berserks up here first to deal
On
with
the
the
way.
Ghols before the archer grabs the bow. It may require, oh no, here they come. Never sure whether the archer has to be close to the entrance in order for the Ghols to show up. But either way, they're out. Also, remember how I said that the journeyman from the previous level cannot be a hero unit even though he's just an ordinary, cannot be a veteran even though he's just an ordinary journeyman? Well, unsurprisingly, this journeyman can be a veteran in order to allow for the possibility of him being this.
Casualty.
That's not good.
Got him!
Also, I guess this is a good time to tell you that the champions don't actually have to survive this level. That's not an automatic game over. We just lost
Right
the
away.
guy. But of course, I have to finish the level without him. Anyway, the journeyman in this level is obviously allowed to be a veteran so that he can potentially be the same guy we had in the previous level. Except we already had a veteran journeyman from before the previous level who was way more experienced, the one we met in A Traitor's Grave. And that's who we have now, 6 Motion Bloody Jaguar. This is the journeyman from A Traitor's Grave with 4 missions survived. Not the other guy who was our journeyman in the actual previous mission. So, what happened? Do they just all look alike and they forgot which one we had? I mean, obviously, from a game standpoint, it's easy to figure out how this ended up happening, but it's just kind of amusing that they went to so much effort to make it so that you have the same journeyman for both missions, and then make it really obvious that you do not have the same journeyman for both missions, when they could have just let the journeyman possibly be a veteran, with the idea that we sent the most experienced journeyman that we had, which was 6 Motion Bloody Jaguar, as part of the whole sending our best guys to deal with this mission. So it's like in trying to solve a problem, they managed to just create a bigger one. Also, none of the other champions can be... It's impossible for this to happen to any other unit in this mission. Because, as you'll see, the hero unit type is an actual different unit type. From the... Like, a hero archer is an actual different unit type from a regular archer. But for whatever reason, they did not create a hero journeyman unit type. Also, this differently colored... This is actually a plateau. You can't really see that because I can't get the camera close enough. Is the destination. But we have to get past this hill in order to get it. Which we cannot actually do, so... Okay, it looks like they're funneling us somewhere. Yeah, there are multiple routes through this level, so I normally don't go this far north anyway, but looks like we have to go around here. We are pretty close to the end of the mission, though. And here we have Alric, who has not killed anybody yet. Also, Alric will end up paying us back for us having to spend 2 levels rescuing him and 1 entire level escorting him. Because, you see, Alric will actually be controllable later. And he does not disappoint. Alric is very powerful. In addition to just being a very solid melee fighter, in fact, other than Trow, I think Alric is the strongest single melee unit in the game. He's definitely the strongest single melee unit that we will ever get to control.
Sir?
In addition to that, he has a special ability.
Right away.
It's not really something I can very easily describe, but all I can really say is, it is awesome. And if used properly, can allow you to manage some pretty awesome feats.
Yes? Right away. All right.
Also, I haven't demonstrated the magic bow we got. This is the bow of stoning. Hit an enemy with it. I said hit an enemy with it. And they will turn to stone. Of course, as you've just seen, it can very easily miss.
Oh, yeah.
Get in there.
He's mine. Ready. On the way. Hey,
However,
step aside.
the bow of stoning does not work on Soulless. That was ineffective. I'm talking to a dwarf, not to anybody else.
Yes. Sir? On the way. That was mine.
Alright. Let's get moving. Hopefully this group won't come after us, but I'm not certain whether or not they will come after us. We've already lost a berserk and I really don't want to fight them. So let's just run with our fingers crossed. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And we're almost there, but this side of the hill isn't climbable, so we're going to have to climb up the other side, which means we have to get to the other side. Though at this point, pretty much all the fighting is done, so we're basically just limited by Alric's movement speed. He is admittedly kind of slow. He's not terribly slow, but he is kind of slow. And yeah, we just keep walking for a little while. Looks like that other group didn't follow us. And there are Ghols up here, but we don't really need to worry about them. And it appears that I was wrong about there not being any more Whoa. Whoa. This just keeps getting worse. Like, the farther we get into this, the worse it looks for us. Whoa. I guess there's another half of that over here, and then we have this guy who is a shade, who is an entirely new unit type we've never fought before. This is going to be a problem. Well, they don't appear to be attacking yet. Let's get everybody into position. And oh, Alric wants us to let him handle this. Unless you've got, like, a holy hand grenade or something hidden in those robes of yours, this is not going to work. I've seen you fight. You're pretty good, but I don't think that even you can take on all of this. So, good luck, and I guess we'll be watching and cheering you on from somewhere very far away. At least we got a good view for our own demise.
Ah, Sinis. I thought you died when Mazarin collapsed the Shrine of Nyx upon you.
Indeed, Alric. Then I'll wager that you thought you'd see the last of me.
I have seen the last of you.
Oh, I guess he did have a holy hand grenade in those robes of his. Yeah. Remember that special ability that I mentioned? That was it. It is called the Dispersal Dream. It is awesome. And yes, we get to control it. Basically, you pick an enemy and it makes them explode. Then the explosion jumps to an enemy standing next to them. Then the explosion jumps to an enemy standing next to them. And it keeps doing this until there are no enemies close enough for it to jump to them. It's like it infects the enemy with a case of virulent, contagious exploding. So, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy showing that off when we finally get to control Alric directly. And now that the enemy is no longer guarding the path up here.
Follow me.
And you always need to gather on top of this thing.
Follow me.
This doesn't appear to go anywhere. Oh, and we apparently have enemies now. Soulless and Myrmidons.
Come closer, quickly.
I apologize for doubting you, Alric. Especially, I guess I apologize for doubting you again. But
Come closer, quickly.
do you have a plan? Because this is not looking good. In fact, I think the word for how this is looking is
Come closer, quickly.
nightmarish. Are you just hoping to have like a great group hug as we all die? Or oh, okay, so you can teleport. Well, that's the end of that. Well, if Alric could teleport, why did we have to get him all the way up to there? Well, I guess there appeared to be ruins on top of that hill, and the shade was clearly guarding the top of the hill, so maybe Alric was like tapping into some ancient magical teleportation network or something, and the enemy seems to have known about it. Also, yeah, we actually lost somebody. No Thrall this level. Last level there were no Myrmidons, this level there were no Thrall. But yeah, that's the end of that. We won't be seeing the 5 champions again, though we will be seeing that journeyman again. In fact, I believe we see him in the next level, though I'm not 100% sure that the journeyman from the next level can be a veteran. But that's the end of that. Hopefully this one has actually been recorded successfully and my microphone doesn't completely fail me, because I need to replace it anyway. But with that, this is Science Viking signing off. As usual, I love you all, and I will see you next time.